museum for all my fighters. Enzo Mac, world champion, Gavin world champion, Nathan Cleverly world champion, above all, Joe Calzaghe. Now that is a place known for the big championship fights. Okay, here we are. Just going back a bit of while, obviously as you can see, that's what we call it, fights and painters, which I know very well. Pat Killian, I think that was Pat Killian. Pat Killian as well. What an artist, amazing artist. So, as you see, it's all part of our family. Here's a Mac. What you call posters illustrates, obviously, there's a Mac. All my fighters at particular time I had Guy Lockett, Tommy Doherty, Bradley Brace, and of course the rest of them, Enzo Mac, etc. So with a massive stable of top fighters, and that's performed on that particular win. I think we boxed in Manfredi in the Millennia Stadium. I think we had 9 of my fighters, all 9 won. The A and joke is facts. They all 9 won. The entrance, really, the hall, what you call it, before capture imagination, before go into the ring, of course, right? Into the actual gym. So come around me, and I'll show you, right? This will be the gym. Well, it's not lit. I lit it right up. And there is your medical Calzaghe gym. This is where we did it all. Not only me and Joe, of course, Joe, Bradley, Gavin, all my fighters, which I've talked about. You know, it's really, and that's that, you know, and that's basically where it all began. So I can appreciate that. That's the lounge, basically, so people can actually come down and have a look at it and admire the fact that the gym was at this level. So many memories, I can't find out. It's, okay, there's memories here when we met Prince Charles. You know, we could go talk, every photograph means something, so we can spend time and time on. But all it is, the people, the want to know about us, all it is, turn up here, and I'd be privileged by having them, and they can look and enjoy exactly what we achieved, not only as physically, but important for us, mentally, what we achieved with this gym. This is some very cute little photograph. That's the days they confused me with Errol Flynn, but I was wrong, it wasn't him, it's me. You know, you can go and have a long experience, what do you call it, views around here, right? So that's that part there. In the gym, the lounge now. Basically, this is the lounge. Okay, socialisers sometime here, VIPs only. You know, and you've got memorabilia that comes from everywhere. From stars like Rocky, obviously the bowl. What do you call old bloody Sylvester Stallone? They've all been here. You know, Roy Jones. Where you go with my wife, etc. But in any case, it's something which I can only say unique. That's it. You go look around, you want to look for personalities, they're all there. You go on and on and on. Here you are, you go Sugar Leonard. That's my mother, Sylvester Stallone. Oh, 180! Hello! What was that? Michael Botha, right? Let's see, you've got Kessler fights. Ray knocked down, Eubanks. You know, that's his magic fall. There you are. That's when I was awarded my MBE. Right here is when I had my Sports Personality of the Year. I had my American Boxer Rider Awards for the year. Met, of course, you know, Rocky. Here's my personalities with it's time, it's telling you where I was, it's telling you what we were. You know, memorabilia, this type of stuff, you know, it's history to myself. You know, everything that they took now, that's every fight that Joe did. In the world title, of course, in the rotations, all the way through to the 24-0. That's it. You know, this is obviously the thing that's been awarded to me, like my own shirts, which they did give in America when I went to America. I picked up my awards in the American Boxing Sport Rights of the Year. You know, of course, that one there's all unique stuff. This is all unique stuff. Your unique stuff. You know, this is all my montage of made records, discs, and films are made. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 18. So we can actually look at them. Right.
Hello, I'm Gavin Townsend here today with the famous Enzo Calzaghe. Thank you for this interview, Enzo.
You're welcome,
really appreciate your time. So, Enzo, you're known for being arguably one of the best boxing coaches in the world. Could you tell me a bit about your history, about your background in boxing?
So actually, my background in boxing starts when I was about 32, 33, because I never boxed before myself. But also being an aficionado for sports in generally, right? A soccer player, I grew up a soccer player, right? So obviously when Joe was born, we know the story in his book, people read it, there's no cut story on that point. Well, I linked into the boxing world because socially I had a place here, which is not close, called Panama, which had a boxing gym. Joe himself is known that that's the beginning of his, you know, his career as a boxer. You know, he's more or less wanted to be a football player, but so being it, he tasted the boxing training sessions and he liked it and he carried.
So Joe started at 9 then?
Yeah, of course, 9 years old. And that's when I took him to the gym.
Yeah.
9 years old, basically, right? He went to the gym far away from me. He only did about 100 yards, so that was great, no problem. So bear in mind, I was a musician at the time there, so I didn't look time to be a coach. I've become more as a second coach as I was going long years after years. So to the very end of Joe's amateur world, technically, Paul Williams was the first coach of his career in the amateur ways, right? Okay, so here we go. I took the reins when Paul Williams left, so I took the reins in the gym in Newbridge, not the particular gym, another gym in Newbridge, which has come down now. It's known, very known, as the tin shed, the magical tin shed, right? I know, it's great. Oh, we're up in the tin shed. Yeah. So obviously that particular time, I was fingering, fiddling about with boxing, and I was getting better and better. My fights were winning ABAs after Gavin Reese, Bradley Price, Joe Calzaghe. They're all winning ABAs. British, so I start respecting myself. I know what I'm doing. So what I did, I changed more or less the system of boxing overall, which that particular time, they thought of me behind my back that I didn't know what I was doing. Sure. Basically, I never a clue what Enzo was doing, because the way he's performing 100 miles an hour, punching 100 miles, slapping, doing this, slapping, in other words, criticising everything I was doing.
And who are they? Who are the critics?
There was a lot of people, and they don't mention the names, but basically because obviously I took over gym that's got very successful. We're doing the ABAs, winning ABAs, the British, the seniors. So what's happened? So I started ignoring all that. I said, yeah, okay. So basically go to obviously when the actual professional status come along, I actually told Joe that it's better for him to find another trainer, because the criticism that I was having before, I had not criticism, that saying such that Joe Calzaghe will never make it with his father along with him, because what he's taught him as an amateur is not good enough for the pro world. So I haven't got a card to say, you've got to owe me something, you've got to do it. No, I said, Joe, they might be right. So actually sent him to Stevie Sims.
He's a good friend of yours?
Yeah, no, I didn't know him. There's a gym in Newbridge, he had a gym in Newport. So just get away, I spoke to Stevie Sims. I knew his background, he became a British champion, etc. So what happened? He said, Enzo, bring your boy down. And the story's known, you heard about the story. He came down there and he stayed about 4 weeks with him. And then one day he just picking him up to go take him out over there. Again, I was driving him, he didn't have a car. I got down there, I got to my official gym, and he sat on doorsteps saying nothing. So I told him, Joe, it's 5 o'clock, it's time to move up. Can we go now? He just sat down on the floor, corner, quite sat down the corner with him. I said, what's happened, Joe? Something wrong with him? He said, I said, spit it out. You don't want to go, do you? He said, can I ask you something? I said, go on, what's the problem? Is there a problem? I thought it might be a major problem. Will you be my trainer again? I said, no way!
So what was going through your mind at the moment?
But I thought we'd call it that. He did it as a gesture of respect. That's all I thought it was. A gesture of respect. You're my dad. You're my dad. Sorry, you're my dad. No, I said, no, I won't. I said, Joe, I don't want to come back. Leave there. And I said, okay, ask me a question. I said, well, I'll ask a question. He said, oh yeah, Dad, okay. Why do you want me to be a trainer? Do you feel sorry for me or what? And that's the words I said.
Because of all this criticism?
Yeah, I said, you can go, I'm with you all the way. Don't mind, what do you come back to me for? And I said, because you've got respect, is it? Or because you think you owe me to come back because you're my dad. I'm your dad, sorry, you know? And you think it's right. No. So why do you want me to come back to you? Because you're the best trainer I've ever had.
Bang.
Bang! I said, I'm back on board. Thank you. Kiss each other. Now I'll do it. Not because you thought.
So at that point, did you up the level, or was it pretty much the same, or did you?
No. The level is what I made. When he's winning everything. He won the, the 3 titles of the ABAs and different weights, welterweight, but of course he's achieved amazement. But obviously, Joe is Joe. There's a unique person in that shell of his, right? It wasn't just myself. It's just that we gelled together because I got eccentric moves and made the talk very dynamic. So he can take off me the certainty that I knew what I was doing. So he was always comfortable with that, comfortable because he knew when the shit hits the fan, at the end of the day, he knows Dad knows not because of the father and pulling me out. Oh, you're getting hurt. He knew Dad is harder than what I am. He'll try to stay on that shit, get up and punch again. So, which is controversial to fathers and sons. I become more or less, to his eyes, I was a top trainer to him, not a father.
So was it hard at some points? Were you just more trainer than father, or was it a difficult transition sometimes?
No.
In the ring, you're a trainer. Out the ring, you're a father.
Your father, exactly.
Yeah.
When I got to the fight night, I divorced.
Right.
Me and Joe divorced each other.
Yeah.
He despises me on the night. I didn't care. I didn't feel nothing for him because he made me. He had a unique part to upset me an hour before the fight.
And what was that?
And he said, "Do your gloves." No, don't do bandages. What do you mean don't do it? Put your hand, I've done all the No, you do the bandages. So always automatically I go cold on it. So I become a trainer again.
So you switch off. And
I switched off the lovable part, all this stuff, like davy. It didn't exist in me. I got strong character. So what Joe needed was a person with a massive, strong character that can say exactly views without no favoritism of anything. I could view the thing. I said, get in the corner, do this and do that. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. Shout at that, not, oh son. No, it was a different person in the shell.
So Enzo, what's the most rememberable fight of all time with Joe?
Well, I think to me, when I look back at fights, unless I watch them on television after, because I said the same question to everybody. I haven't got a favourite fight because to me all the fights are the same.
Sure.
Because what it is, I didn't have time to value it. I didn't have time to see. I look in my eyes, the two people, the boxers and the trainer, and a boxer and a referee. I had time to vet it and check it out. Looking back, I can favoritism quite a few of them.
Come on then. Top 3.
Top 3, obviously, I would say probably, I think definitely the Roy Jones one was amazing. Roy Jones was, according to Kessler, was amazing. We call it, what's the name? Iron Man, what's the name? Jeff Lacey was a beautiful, absolutely giant names.
What was going through your mind at the time? You said had won one fight after the next, and no one's done it before like Joe.
No, that was hard. It was very hard for me. It's very hard to switch on and switch off, because for me, as far as I had fighters as well, I had other fighters at the same time, and they're all valued top fighters. So with me, it was no rest periods. There was something I could shell off and going out all day. It's continuation. So to me, I got to about that 8 stone.
So as a coach, it was just half years.
Oh, it's bloody hard it was, because I had no room to fail. I had no room to fail. I could not fail.
Did it affect your relationships with your friends, your relatives?
Well, no, I think it affected my relationship with my son. There wasn't a love affair with it, because some way he could become, he become big star. And not, it says he needed a trainer, he needed me, he's got much I need him. But he's got more attacking through conversations, rather than saying, okay, so be it. It's more so that type of thing. Of course, I ain't going to be happy Larry all day, but one thing, we were friends as well as coach.
Sure.
We can, within 2 minutes of
so you through the rough times as well as with the smooth.
We can kiss each other 5 minutes after, sorry Dad, or sorry Dad, we go, okay Joe, it's my fault, have a drink, and that's it. So they had the unique, we brought up, me and Joe were brought up as friends.
So what top tips would you give to a fellow boxer who wants to follow in the footsteps of Joe and be a world champion one day?
Work.
What top tips?
Well, top tip, first of all, you've got to develop this character. Without a character, you can't get nowhere. Alright, you've got to value yourself and say, well, would I shy away from that? Would I shy away from this? Would I shy of that? And you look at yourself, if I do. But you've got to be honest with you. You've got to be honest with yourself. Don't look in the mirror and say, do I trust myself? Yeah, I would like to be in the war zone. Oh, then you've answered the question.
Brilliant.
You've got to ask them directly themselves, would you be? It doesn't have to be no offense, to be huge and large. It doesn't mean nothing. I had the same story, I guess for a long time, make it short now. They used to come in droves here, droves, and I mean droves. The other gym I had, droves. Right? From Pantside, Chuffle Muscle Men, you name it all. They've all been there, come here, and they came and trained together. All like a street, all trained together. Okay, and I asked a question, what do you come here for? It's a boxing gym. So you know it's a boxing gym, don't you? Oh yeah, of course it is. All tattooed, all that stuff, muscle men, some of the rugby players. Okay, stop that. Get the point. So I give them 2 weeks, because they do my head in. All coming at once. They don't come alone. All come in 25 people. Yeah.
For the egos.
Well, egos, right? So I said that I used to plan 1 or 2 people like Bradley Price. When he knows what I'm going to say, Gavin Reese knows what I say. So after 12, or say 2 weeks, I can eliminate these lot. Too many around. I don't believe they really want to be boxers. So they come in, same old man, say, hey, so where's the dressing room? All the cocky, but good. So I said, okay, yeah, John, all right, whoever, Jim, John, right, boys, tonight or today, we do sparring session. What do you mean sparring sessions? I'm only in 2 weeks. This is a boxing gym, mate. Right? Bradley, are you ready sparring? And of course, yeah, I'm ready. Who am I sparring with? Right, I shouted to him. Gavin, you ready as well? I'm not going. Until the last one stood there, only one person ever tried to say, I'll go in. I'll go in. I got rid of 19. He stayed on. He stayed for 2 years.
Really?
A plus. You see what I mean? Yeah. Broad mean damn shit. Yeah. You don't get it, especially with the teamwork. Yeah. They've always got team supply, the vocal players. So they go, let's shout there, the whole gang comes along, and deep down, but I'll see that guy in the street after his own, see what you do there. I bet he run away. So most stories, I was saying, a boxer, to turn a boxer, they've got to know his own character. Would he be, and 100%, they would. Be honest with you, but then comes the fact that the ability then, they got to develop the ability. How do you get the ability? Here's to make the 3 days a week training to 7 days a week. And that's when you do it. There's no money involved, nothing. Will you do 7 days a week? You won't. But Joe and myself done 7 days a week. because I used to do sports myself. If I wasn't in the gym, I was running. I ran that massive hills, 25 miles. I'd be play soccer. You know, so it was something that it was always active at. So basically, when Joe came into the fight, he was already, say, quarter already made, because he didn't let himself go loose completely out of sections. And that's basically what I told him, what can I teach a kid? I want to teach a kid to know himself. He got to know himself. And he asked his own questions. That a guy said, he wouldn't do it. Or he once said, and I felt proud for him, because he did what the other machos couldn't do, straight away. So they got to understand this boxing, you can get hurt. It ain't all pleasure zone all the time. You can get hurt, and you say to yourself, why do I want to get hurt? For no reason whatsoever, not even paid for it. Oh, I like the sport. Okay, you're thick then, but I wouldn't bring a guy in to get into that style of method for the rest of his life, hurt himself. But at the end of the day, you're taking it, that could take a lot outside of your life, it'll take a lot outside of your life. So you've got to make it professional to make it pay back.
Sure.
Otherwise you do it part-time. You don't even do it after.
So Enzo, after the years of coaching Joe, you brought out a book. Elaborate a bit more about your book.
This is the second book actually. Joe's got his own first one, I think it was Undefeated.
Where have you got it on sale?
This is going at Waterstone, Smiths,
yeah.
Tesco's.
Yeah.
I think it's on all, it could be other places. Now what I'm trying to emphasize...
Enzo Calzaghe, A Fighting Life.
Yeah, A Fighting Life.
Yeah.
Now what this book concentrates more on us in the love of the family. It's not love for boxing involved of course in there, but yeah, so I try to tell a story with nothing at all, financially or home to go to. I stayed in parks in Europe, every park, street in Europe, and I slept in every room, right? But one thing I had, my strength was my love.
So you and Joe actually lived the true rock and
dream. Yeah. But my family, not Joe, it's my daughters involved. I love my daughters, but my dad at first, or my father and mother, were brought up obviously in Sardinia, and the hardship they incurred was very, very hard. Like they got it, I can't say it, they had miners, but my father obviously, there's no national assistance, there was nothing like door offices, that never existed.
No.
So basically to bring up 5 kids was hard, but I was rebellious. Because why I rebelled is because I watched Dad working 25 hours a day. He's only 24. 25 he worked, right? Basically being under management and treated as far as concerned as a slave, right? For the $8 to pay the wages. Because without that, Dad couldn't have a job.
Sure.
So he had to bow down, being a guy that went to war at the age of 14 and a half, went to war. He had to have his name filmed by his uncle because they no were allowed. He went to war. So he's a powerful creature, this guy, right? To be not insulted, but in some way to be what you call slaved by the big top up there. Now I watched as a kid. I watched it, and my mother had 4 jobs. She worked in a morgues. She worked in there for 3 jobs a day, sleeving up. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to pass it. I don't care. Someone got to get. I don't want that type of life. I stayed in Sardinia. I was only 18. I still could stay.
So you just moved to
the UK? No, I had national service first. Then my national service. Come back. I thought, no. My dad worked enough for all my family. No. So I said one day, I ran away. I put the sign on the door. I won't be back until I'm a mayor, until I'm a millionaire. That's the words I said.
Really?
I tried 4 core stories, climbed up with it, and that's the story began there. So basically what this book's all about is to say my love, basically, stays as it is. My father's still alive. I go to him regular, he's lovely. But I never had the coach. I never know what a coach was. I never had support when I had my football. I played with the same team as Zola played in Sardinia. Same, obviously, it's different areas.
Sure.
So I was, there's a lot of promise. I had a lot of promise, but I cannot remember my father ever taking me once to the park. Right? My mother asked him to take me to the park, Nothing like that existed. So really, we loved each other, but deep down, I think I was an isolated person. So myself was me, myself. You know, so that's the way he brought up. And for this very, I thank him for that. Because otherwise nothing would happen. There'd be no Joe.
No, of course. So because of your father's hardship, he gave you inspiration.
Oh, God Almighty, yeah.
Deliver what you have to Joe.
Of course. He had what he had. He had a human in him, right? That he worked his guts out for the family. And the family is important. So it's very day, even now, I can be a superstar. I can be an idiot. It doesn't matter who I am. My most important thing is to gel the family together. My kids are together. They don't live walk step from each other. You know, it's something people do not realize. The only thing in life is the family. Without that, you're nothing. A lot of people let themselves down. They put the family as a backbone part. Brought the success first. The success just puts you at zero. With a family and success, you reach the goal. You reach everything. And so far, I hope in this book here, you understand what comes first is the family.
Well, thank you, Enzo, very much for this.
Thanks for having me, Case, and I enjoy.
Thank you all. Take care.